What is good, Regis recipients? How are y'all doing today? Let me know in the comment section. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Regis Reflections. Y'all already know each and every episode we have a different athlete on this podcast. And this week on this episode, we have Miss Sophia Fisher. Say what's up, Sophia.
What's up? Hey everyone.
How are you doing today? How is your mental on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh my goodness. Well, the weather is amazing today. It's like 65 out, so I gotta give it an 8.5,
Oh, okay.
which is
Okay.
high.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. That's good. Huh. So, Regis recipient Sophia here is on the Notre Dame women's soccer team. So, Sophia, what position do you play?
I play a bit of midfield, a bit of defense. And if they needed me in goal, I would consider getting back there, but I'm not actually a goalkeeper.
Just everything. You just like a Swiss Army knife, every position.
Yeah. No,
So,
I've actually never played goalkeeper. That was a joke. But
yeah, so where are you originally from?
So I was born in California, Northern California, but I've spent most of my life in Arizona, Northern Arizona.
It's gonna take a moment of silence. So, Arizona,
Yes.
and you're now here in South Bend, Indiana, with the weather change. Just talk a little bit about the weather change from How do you feel about that? Just the weather.
Oh, it's terrible. It's so hard. I was just home for spring break and my mom was complaining about how cold it was there and it was like 65. I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea. But yeah, I mean, I definitely get to experience all the seasons here, which I don't get to in Arizona. But
Is it true that the heat in Arizona goes past 100 degrees?
oh, yes. Oh my
Why you say
goodness.
that with excitement?
Well, that's just like that's a given. Like if it's a hundred's like a cool day in the summer. Like it's like it reaches like 120, 115. Like 100 is like cool in the summer, which is like absurd. But yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's dry heat. So you said you're from Atlanta, which is
I'm
like
from Atlanta.
it's so humid there, but we have dry heat. So like it's way different. It's way different.
So
It's
like,
really not bad. Like you get used to it.
but like it gets like 110 degrees, and then I know like the heat that attracts snakes. There are probably snakes all around Arizona too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's snakes and scorpions and it's a really great place though. It's beautiful. There's mountains, which people think it's just like desert and dirt, but there's mountains and cactuses and great sunsets. So, yes.
nice. All love to Arizona. So, Sophia, whom or what got you into the sport of soccer?
So I have four siblings. Two of my siblings are older and they both played soccer. So soccer is just like in my family, like my whole life. My mom also played soccer. So yeah, I'm just in a soccer family.
Soccer. Is it very competitive at home when if you all play soccer?
Yeah, so my younger sister also plays soccer. So four of us play soccer, and then my younger brother plays football. But yeah, everything is competitive, everything's a competition. But it's fun because like when I go home, we can all like play together. So it's a good time.
Uh, so what age did you start playing soccer, if you remember?
I don't know, like I know people are like I started playing when I was one, but like that's not true.
Is that true? Yeah.
So probably like I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6, like maybe when I was in like kindergarten or around there.
And did you know at what age did you kind of say I'm taking soccer seriously and I want to go to the next level? Did you kind of have that light bulb above your head?
Yeah, it's actually so funny that you bring that up. So I was playing in like a game and I used to do like this soccer people will know I used to do like this like toe touch like turn
Mhm.
and I like would do nothing. I would just like, smile and like have a great time and like it was so fun. I loved it. And my mom was like sat me down at breakfast like after one of my tournaments and was like, "Are you just gonna like smile and like woohoo?" Like I was like, "Oh, like maybe I should start taking it a little bit more seriously." And then like I swear that was like the light bulb, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like start getting like really good. And I started training on my own like so much. And like I was insane. I would like cry if I didn't touch a soccer ball like one day. Like I was insane. Like on like family trips and stuff, I would like bring cones and like
Mhm.
didn't matter where we were. I was like, you could see me, the ball, and my soccer shoes always. So
Oh,
yeah.
you're dedicated.
Yeah, I was dedicated.
So when you committed to playing soccer, did you join? I know soccer when you were like in young, probably high school, middle school. Did you join a club at all outside of your high school?
Yeah, so I actually never played high school soccer. We weren't like allowed to, like the DA that I was playing when in was like the league, and they wouldn't let us play high school. But I was really never interested in high school. It wasn't like super competitive. Like all the the serious players like didn't really do high school. So yeah, I was just on a club team, and yeah, that's where I like made all my closest friends, and yeah, it was a big commitment when I was younger for
Mm.
sure.
So could you just touch a little bit on how that club experience was playing soccer for you?
Yeah, it was a great time. Like I said, like most of my friends came from club and it was good. I actually ended up moving from Arizona when I was going into my junior year by myself, which was
What?
insane, to back to California. And I lived with my neighbors who were like angels sent from heaven. They like took me in. Their kids had already graduated. So they were like, oh, like we'll take you in. And I played for like a new club there. It was a little bit more competitive, a little bit more challenging, which is what I wanted. And I did online school. So club soccer was like super, super important and super serious to me. And yeah, making that move like really escalated like that experience for me. But it was really good. And like I have no regrets. I'm so glad I did it.
Wow. So you when you were doing online school, you were doing online school for junior and senior year?
Correct. Yeah. So I did online school for my junior year, and then COVID had hit, and then I moved back home. And then I was a mid-year here at Notre Dame, so I ended up graduating high school early and came here
Ooh,
for the spring
intellectual.
semester.
So when you said you moved from Arizona to California, did you at all just kind of miss your family at all? Were you nervous? How was that process through mentally for you?
Yeah, it was so hard. I was obviously super young. I was what, 16, 17. So yeah, it was hard, but I've always been like a little bit more mature than like other people my age. So I feel like I was like kind of ready. And I'm so like grateful for that experience because it ultimately set me up to come here and like be prepared to like be on my own.
Mm.
So yeah, it was really hard. I like love home and I love my family and like I still get homesick now
Yes.
being here. But yeah, it was hard, but it was good.
Wow,
I
wow.
grew a lot for
And you
sure.
said it all paid out and you would do it all over again.
Yeah, yeah, no regrets, no
Nice.
regrets.
So that transition from club, you were playing club in California, Arizona, COVID, and now you're here at the University of Notre Dame on the women's soccer team. What was that transition like from club to now? Now you're at the D1 collegiate level.
Yeah. So I was so excited to come here. I committed when I was super young. I think I was going into my freshman year of
Oh.
high school. Yeah, so I was super young. So I feel like my whole like high school, I was just so eager to come to Notre Dame and play on the soccer team. And I was so excited. So I obviously came in as a mid-year. It was the winter, which is the worst time of year here.
Come on.
And it was honestly such a battle. I talk about this like really openly, but I like hated it here so much my first semester.
Mm.
It was so hard for me. I felt so isolated. I was like alone and COVID was like kind of finishing. So like it was still like kind of happening. So people like were, in their dorms a lot, like not in the dining hall a lot. So yeah, it was a really hard transition and I wasn't able to play because I was like not eligible because they were actually like in their real season in the spring, which
Mhm.
usually isn't the case for women's soccer. So yeah, it was really hard for me. I was trying to adjust and yeah, I was disappointed because I had been so excited to come here and then I got here and I was like, this is terrible. Yeah, it's hard.
So with your unfortunately you were disappointed and you hated it, how did you ultimately get yourself out of that hole and kind of enjoy your time here as you're now kind of that senior here now in Notre Dame?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing that I guess I didn't realize at the time is that it takes time. I think it's so hard, like coming in, even like people that don't come in as mid years. I think just being a freshman in college is so hard and difficult. You're trying to navigate new things and especially like having soccer as like you're so competitive and you expect so much of yourself. So like if it's not necessarily going the way that you want, it's hard and it really wasn't like going the way that I wanted. Even like my semester after, like my fall semester. So yeah, I think like I just had to give myself grace and time and just try to find like small things that like made me happy or that I could look forward to. Yeah, to try to find those sources of happiness.
So during those times where you were just kind of not feeling a sense of belonging or not liking, did you at all talk to your teammates on the soccer team, especially like the incoming freshmen when you were all together during this in season? Did you all kind of share if you were kind of going through anything, or did you kind of keep those struggles to yourself?
Yeah, so I think that like it was hard for a lot of like the people in my class. There was 8 of us that came in and I think it was hard, but like that's a big thing is like I don't think people like openly like talk about like how much they're struggling or like, oh, this is going on or I'm feeling this way. I think it's hard to be vulnerable, I think
That's
just
true.
like naturally. Um, but yeah, I think that also a big thing is like I didn't want to be like negative and like complain about certain things
Yeah.
because like I'm so grateful that like I was in the situation that I was in. So if I wanted to like talk about like how I was feeling, I would like go talk to our sports psychologist, who I love, Carly, if she's watching this, she's the best.
Okay.
So yeah, I would talk about like that stuff with her, but a big thing like of and who I am, like I'm a very positive person and like I wanted to be that person for my teammates and like just be like a bright light and not like dwell on like the negative when there is so much positive, which it took time to like understand that. But
Mm.
yeah, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I feel. So, as being part of a D1 team here, you're on the women's soccer team, you're gonna have to travel to other schools. And a lot of people, when they see that you're traveling to the other schools, the other cities, they think, oh, you get to go tour the city. It's lit. We outside. You get to go, everything like that. But a lot of people don't know, like, it's business. It's a business trip.
Yeah.
So, could you just touch a little aspect on just the traveling aspect on being on the women's soccer team?
Yeah, well, we are, like, so fortunate, like, our traveling is, like, very easy. We charter most of the time, so, like, we don't even have to go to Chicago, we fly right out of South Bend, so, like, we're so blessed, like, to be able to literally just get on a plane and, go to wherever we're going. It's usually not more than a 2-hour flight, which is great. I hate flying, though, so I
Why?
hate it. I'm so scared of flying. I it's just horrible, like
Why'd you fly from Arizona to South Bend
I
then?
know I have to all the time, but it's so bad. Like turbulence, like I freak out.
Yes.
And like anyone who sits next to me on these planes, like I grab them, I get so scared. My teammates, of course. Um, but yeah, so being on the road is hard, obviously, because you're away from like your routine. I'm a big like routine person, so being away from that is hard for me. But it's fun. It's good to like bond with the team and we have fun. And like also my coach like really makes our schedule so good that like we're not away for much except, like, our fall break, like, we have a longer trip, but, like, that's
Mhm.
the best time to be away because
That's
like,
your
school's not in
of
session.
course.
So, yeah, like, our traveling is, like, honestly so seamless and easy, so I can't complain, but it's a good time, it's fun. Everyone, like, can hang out in the hotel rooms, watch movies, it's a good time.
Yeah, vibe, good.
If I do have work, work never gets done. I'm like, "Oh, I'll do it, like, on the plane ride back," and then I don't do it, so it never gets.
So on the topic of work, so what's your major here at the University of Notre Dame?
So I'm FTT and I'm a concentration in
FTT.
television, and then I'm also digital marketing.
Shout out to FTT and digital
Yeah.
marketing. I'm the same as well. I
Really?
am.
I've never had a class with you though.
I'm just got into my major for FTT, but I just added digital marketing
Oh,
because I want to continue this podcast to grow it bigger, to take it to even professional athletes, rappers, and start my own sports business.
oh my gosh. Well, if
So
you
you got
need
something
if
for
you need help, I got you.
me? So being an FTT major in digital marketing, Notre Dame, we already know Notre Dame is already an academic rigorous school. It's a hard school, and the classes are hard. You have a tough major, a major and a minor, and you're on the women's soccer team. How do you balance both? How do you balance school and sports?
Yeah, it's obviously so hard and I procrastinate school. Like I'll get like everything else done that I need to get done, like laundry, dishes, make dinner, everything. I'm good at it. I'm good at all that.
Mhm.
But schoolwork, I'm like, "Oh, I'll do it later." But I don't know. I just try to obviously we have practice for like a lot of the time in like the night or whatever. So just trying to like prioritize like what needs to get done when. Um, but like with time, I've like gotten better at that. And I feel like now that I'm like older, I've like gone through like all the hard classes. So I'm like starting to
Oh, yeah,
calm
we almost
down.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but it's a good time and like it's obviously hard. Like some weeks like what you have like a couple tests, some papers due, but
Mhm.
like it's a grind. But like I think like a lot of student athletes can attest to this who are here is like you don't choose this place because like you think it's gonna be easy or a breeze, like it's gonna be hard. But yeah.
So now that you're a senior here at the University of Notre Dame, been playing 3 or 4 years here, has there ever been a certain practice or game where it just wasn't your way or your day and you were just kind of going through it mentally? And if so, how were you able to pull yourself out of that hole?
Yeah. Well, geez, I don't think there's like even a game or a day. I mean, I feel like there's like so many days or games that it hasn't gone my way or like, that I'm in like a mental block or like not doing well.
Mm,
Like even like seasons. But yeah, I think that a big thing is, like, I've just understood, like, my role, and, like, my first 2 years here, I didn't play much,
mm,
and I kind of just had to understand that, like, my role wasn't gonna be necessarily getting super high minutes on the field, which was fine, but, like, it took a lot of, like, learning, and I think that ultimately, like, it grew, like, my character a lot, having to be, like, something different than, like, just Sophia the soccer player, but, like, be supportive for my teammates and show up show up at practice and give my all even though I might not be getting, like, the amount of minutes that I want on the field.
mm,
So yeah, I think and, like, even now, like, I'm playing a little bit more now, and I think that even now I still have days where I'm like, "This is so hard, this is so tough." So I think, like, it's just, like, a constant cycle, and, like, you obviously struggle with, like, believing in yourself and, like, having confidence, but yeah, just trying to, like, maintain, like, who I am as a person, like, above it all, I think is super important, and just trying to be, like, the best version of me, like, for my teammates and, like, show up for them and, like, give my all and work hard for, like, my team and my coaches, like, is what I try to remember when I'm, like, battling or struggling, you know?
all right, W teammate, W teammate.
I try, I do love my teammates, they're all
Yeah,
great.
that's good. So for you in the future, is soccer still, do you want to continue with soccer in the future, or is once Notre Dame, once you graduate, is this the end? What are you kind of looking towards?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I feel like I'm trying to figure it out right now because I'm getting to the end.
Mm.
So if everything goes as planned, I should be graduating in December. So that's coming up. I know it's
Yes.
crazy. Like this time
Congratulations.
next year, I might not be here, right? Um, but yeah, I think that if I can, I'd love to play soccer, maybe like overseas, for a year or two. I'm like, when else in my life am I gonna get to be a professional,
That's
right?
true. That's
Hopefully,
true.
that's the goal, crossing my fingers. But yeah, I think that soccer's like given me so much and like as it like before I came here, like or even, like, my freshman, my sophomore year, I was like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna be done after my 4 years," you know? And, like,
Mhm.
it's so up and down that you're like, I kinda I might wanna be done. But as time has gone on, I've, like, realized and, like, soccer's been such a big part of my life, and now that's coming to an end, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, wait, do I actually wanna be done?" So yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but hopefully, maybe this time next year, you'll be seeing me on a pro team.
Yeah, okay, I'm praying for you. I hope you do. I hope
Thank
really hope you
you.
do.
Thank you, yeah, but I don't know, we'll see, like, I think that everything will work out how it's supposed to, so,
Man.
yeah,
Fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed. I
thank
want to
you.
see you on TV for
Yeah.
soccer. So one final question, Sophia, before we wrap things up. What advice would you give to the listeners and the viewers out there on their mental health journey?
Ooh. I would say that first, you're not alone because I think a lot more people struggle than you realize. Second, I think just stay true to who you are and, like, outside of, like, who you are as an athlete or as a student, stay true to who you are as a person, and it takes time. I think that's
Mhm.
my biggest thing is, like, it takes time and just, like, give yourself grace because you deserve it.
Amen. Amen. That's the perfect way to end it. On a
Thank
die.
you.
Well, Regis recipients, you heard it from Miss Sophia right here. Sophia, thank you again for joining us on this episode of Regis Reflections. Hope all continues well for you. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for you and your promising future. Regis recipients, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Regis Reflections. And remember, it's okay to not be okay. You matter. It's a boy, JD.